How's it going, YouTube? Navysooner here. Today, we've got some training to go over. With everything that's going on with the pandemic and unrest when it comes to the election here in the United States, there is a lot of uncertainties going on. And those uncertainties will start getting people to wanting to buy firearms. Here in the United States, we have purchased a lot of fucking firearms since this all started happening. And a lot of those people that purchase those firearms are brand new shooters. I'm not a brand new shooter. I've been shooting for a while, but the only training that I've had is minimal training that I've gotten in the Navy for different things. I recently decided that I want to get some real good training in. I thought I was okay. I found out I was subpar. I had in my head that as long as I hit A and B zones, I should be fine. And even if I got onto the target, I should be fine as well. Well, I found out you can be better than that. When you are better than that, your shooting gets better and you improve. Even if you aren't new to firearms, you still need to get some training, because no matter how good you think you are, someone's always better than you. And if it comes down to a real firefight, you're going to be the one to lose probably. A training company named 2Alpha Training Group put out that they were going to be coming to the Dallas-Fort Worth area and doing a Pistol 1 and Rifle 1 course. That was right before all of the riots started hitting. Well, they had to postpone because some people needed to stay in California because of those riots happening. 2Alpha Training Group is owned by a guy named Kawa. He is a soon-to-retire U.S. Army Special Forces Green Beret. He was not only just a Green Beret, he trained Special Forces in how to shoot their guns. They finally put a date out. It was the weekend after the elections, and I was excited to be able to finally get that training. Kawa came down as well. Another instructor named Damon came down. He also has military and police experience, and he gave a lot of the training as well. I really like the fact that there was a Pistol 1 and a Rifle 1 all in 2 days, rather than a Pistol 1, Pistol 2, and then Rifle 1, Rifle 2 in those 2 days. Some people would rather it be the other way, but I really like the fact that I could get training in 2 days from those people and not have to wait for them to come back to get rifle or pistol or whatever I missed. Now they are going to come back and do Rifle 2 and Pistol 2, and I will be doing that training. Recently, I've had a string of people trying to tell me how to run my channel, telling me that I need to get my introductions shorter. I need to lower the sound on my music, to get rid of certain music in my introductions. I have people telling me what I need to do when it comes to other stuff on my channel. Well, to that, all I have to say is, do you sponsor me? Do you donate to me? I will totally listen to anything you have to say. Doesn't mean I'll do it, but I will listen to anything you have to say and not just give you a middle finger if you want to donate to me. There's 3 ways to donate to me. One is Patreon, another is Subscribestar. Both of those are subscription services. I do not have any content over there, but when I start getting more followers over there, I will start putting content up there. You can go to PayPal and send me money directly through PayPal if you do not want to do like a monthly subscription service type of donation, and you can just do a one-time donation if you see fit to help me keep my channel going. My email for PayPal is navysoonerchannel@gmail.com, and you can send it directly to me through PayPal there. If you do donate to me, I am grateful for you donating to to me, helping me keep this channel going. But if you want to tell me how I should run this shit, maybe you should donate a little bit. Before we started shooting every day, we went over range safety and the typical things that range safety entails, as well as specifics on what Kawa likes when it came to range safety. The first day, obviously, was pistol 1, and we learned fundamentals of shooting with a pistol. I will admit wholeheartedly that I knew my fundamentals shooting pistol were absolute crap. I found that out in the first 5 minutes, because the first thing that he did was he said, give me your smallest groups into this circle. So I can't remember the size of the circle, but it was 3 inches or less. The groups that he told us to do, he said, take your time, give me your best groups. You don't have to go fast, just give me your best 5-shot groups. Do 3 5-shot groups. I did those groups and I was horrible. Found out that I had some issues, and that's what they used that first grouping for, to diagnose issues that they could see just by your grouping. After that grouping, we went over how we should hold our firearm and our stance. And then we did a drill called the pyramid drill. You can go onto 2Alpha Training Group's website and get that pyramid drill, print it off and do it. It's 5 shots in a big circle, and then they just get smaller and smaller. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And he wants you to go through the fundamentals that he initially teaches at the beginning of his class. The way that he showed me to get rid of my overgripping issues was to hold my pinky out here. And you won't overgrip as well, because your hand isn't, your shooting hand isn't the one that needs to have all the grip on it. Your support hand does. With your pinky out, it kind of teaches your hand to say, hey, I'm not gripping the whole thing, don't overgrip. Whenever I figured out how to hold my pinky, how not to overgrip, my groupings started to get smaller and my shooting started to get a lot better. We went over how to find your sight picture and how to find it coming from a compressed ready. And then we did it going from the holster and coming up. He taught a way that you can get your hand onto the grip high up as you are coming down on it. And it still works even if you have a secondary type of retention, which I was going through the class with a secondary type of retention. He wanted us to come out nice and slow, get our sight picture, and then pull the trigger. There's a reason that he wanted everything done real slow, and the reason that everything is done slowly is because it creates neural pathways. Your neural pathways are from your brain telling your body what to do, and if your brain knows how to do it slowly and it comes time to do it fast, your brain has those neural pathways, and you may not be quite as accurate, but you still have those neural pathways and you'll be just as good and on target every time. I've learned about those neural pathways based on some of the classes I've been taking for college, and it really made sense to me when he was saying that. We went over the trigger pull, and he went over the 70% method. And the 70% method is whenever it is out like that, you're at 0. Once you get to the wall, here you are at 70%. And then there's a little creep before it goes off, and that's 80. And there's a little bit more creep, 90. And once you pull the trigger, that's 100. We were practicing that, just standing there, looking at our pistols, and practicing the 70, 80, 90, 70, 80, 90, 100. And then we got in front of the targets. They started yelling 70, so he got to the wall. Then he said 80, and he got to 80. And he said 90, and then you held it for a little bit. He's like, hold it, hold it, hold it, and then 100. And you pulled it, and this helped me immensely with getting my groups down as well. There was one more thing that we did that really helped my groupings. After you've pulled the trigger and it resets. When it resets, you want to get back to that 70% as fast as possible. And we had a partner, like the person next to us, telling us, hey, you need to reset. That really, really, really got my groups down. We also went over the different types of malfunctions and what to do when you have any issues. The whole tap rack thing, that was a big, we'd practice that quite a bit. I've done tap and rack quite a bit, but it's still good to just keep getting practice, even if you know how to clear malfunctions. It's still good to get practice, because if you get into a situation where you have to clear a malfunction and you're not used to clearing malfunctions, then you're going to have a bad day. We also went over mag reloads. So if you are out here, you bring your pistol into your workspace. You don't have to bring it like to your face or leave it way out there, but you bring it into your workspace and you do your mag reloads. Talked about over the top, using slide release. Mine luckily slides home if you hit it hard enough, but you still need to pay attention if it doesn't go to be able to get your slide to go home. We talked about the different types of reloads, the tactical or admin reload, and then the emergency reload. The emergency reload is when you have run out of rounds in your magazine, and the tactical reload is you've just used your firearm, you've gotten to cover, you want to put a full mag back into your gun, so you do the tactical reload, or what other people call an admin reload. Then we practiced all of that. We'd shoot, it would go empty, we would do our mag change, and then shoot, and then we would pick up the empty magazine and do our tactical reload to be able to get our magazines back to where we needed it to be able to practice this. The reason that you do everything in your workspace here is because if you are down here, you aren't looking at what's going on in front of you. And you do the same thing with any malfunctions with it up in your workspace as well. We worked on recoil anticipation, and there was a drill that he taught us how to work on our recoil anticipation. Then we worked on cadences, and there were 3 that we worked on. They were the 1 second cadence, the half-second cadence, and the quarter cadence. After we started doing our cadences, that was close to the end of the day, and we started getting into competitions. We stepped a little further back, and then we had a certain amount of time to get our shots into a circle. You were scored off of how many shots you had using whatever cadence you wanted to. Then we went even further back, and they put up a target, and we did where it was 5 shots on the bottom, 5 shots in the middle, 5 shots in the top, reload, 5 shots in the bottom, 5 shots in the middle, 5 shots in the top, all from the holster. You had 30 seconds to get all of your shots off, and you got your points based off of all of that. Second day was rifle training, even though I did it with a pistol. Yes, ATF. That's a pistol brace. Fuck off. Anyways, the second day I did it with this pistol right here. This is my 10.3 Geisley upper with a Black Label Armory lower that I put together myself. The first part of the day we spent zeroing our optic for 50 yards. Before we actually started shooting, Kawa gave us history on the 50, 200 yard zero and the different zeros and all that, and then Damon gave us a lecture based on ballistics and what a bullet does in flight. After we got our firearms zeroed, we took some shots to find out what our holdover would be because of height over bore. I'm going to be doing a series on different holdovers and height over bore for each holdover, so watch for those. This optic luckily has a CQB reticle in it where you're closer to the bottom of the reticle there is a triangle, and that triangle is your 20 yards and in reticle. It wasn't completely on, but it was close enough and it worked great to be able to get my shots into the circles that we were shooting at. After we did our holdovers, we went into what your stance should be, and it should be a little bit more dramatic than your pistol stance. The only problem with me is I shoot my rifle right-handed and my pistol left-handed. So it's just really weird. We went over what low ready and high ready are, and we took shots from high ready and low ready, first doing single shots, then double shots, and just getting us used to the different high ready, low ready. We also went into doing mag changes. When you're doing the mag change, he likes to bring up the rifle like this and do it from there. There was one thing that he taught that I was guilty of, is if your magazine doesn't come out, don't just shake it like that until it falls out. You do need to, when you're coming up with your magazine, just rip it out and put your other magazine in. We went over tactical reloads, and we went over emergency reloads, or when your gun goes dry. We also discussed the different types of malfunctions that you can get with a rifle. Then he created a malfunction for us. We couldn't see what he was doing. We had to run up to our firearm, diagnose what the malfunction was, and get it back into service. After we talked about malfunctions, we went over what you should do when your firearm stops running, whether it is a malfunction or you run out of ammunition. What you do is you drop your gun. A lot of people have different positions. He taught us the different positions on where to drop your gun, but I couldn't do the typical, I couldn't do where people throw to their side because that's where my pistol was, so mine always just came straight down. Then you would go with your secondary firearm and you'd start engaging there. Then when you have time, you hold your secondary firearm, then you pick up your firearm and find out what's wrong with it, and you do not put your secondary firearm away until you realize what the problem is. Then you put it away. The reason you do not put it away is because what if something starts coming back at you? Put the gun back down, start shooting with your secondary. Then we did a drill that you can find on the 2Alpha group and Kawa's Instagram, where you would shoot, you'd shoot 2 rounds, it would go empty, you drop your gun, you shoot your pistol, it goes empty, then you reload your pistol, then you shoot 2, then you pick up your rifle, find out what's wrong with it, put your pistol away, reload, shoot 2. You're only shooting 4 rounds with each firearm, so it's a good high manipulation drill with low round count. Then we went over cadences with the rifle, the 1 second, the half second, and the quarter second. 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004, 1005. I am much better with my rifle than I am with my pistol. I'm getting better with my pistol because I practice as much as possible. Even in the times of COVID, I still am able to practice because I prepared beforehand. Not as much as I want to because I'm starting to run lower than I wanted to, but still I'm able to practice more. After we got done learning our cadences with our rifle, the 1 second, the half second, the quarter second, we got into competitions again. I didn't tell you everything that went on with the class, because if I tell you everything that went on with the class, you're going to think, oh, I don't need to take that class anymore. But you do, because there's a whole lot more that he put out, and he has been in it and he knows what he's doing. You need training. I'm going to keep getting training from different people, and if you do get training from other people, don't just be like, well, this guy said this, so I'm going to do it and not listen to you. Take into consideration what those people are telling you. If those people are credible and they are good at training, then listen to them. But I have continued practicing with the different drills that Kawa has taught me, and this class was great. And I cannot wait, like I said before, till he comes back and I can do Pistol 2, Rifle 2. Pistol 2, Rifle 2 brings movement into your shooting. Well, that's it for my thoughts on the training. It was great. I couldn't recommend his classes anymore. Before I sign off, I want to tell you to go check out Life, Liberty, Pursuit of Happiness over on Instagram. It's got a t-shirt, different colors, hat, different colors. And if you want to make an order, send them a DM and they will get that ordered for you and sent out. Well, that's it. Navysooner out.